welcome back to Holler Mom. My name is Colette, and for those of you that are new here or don't really know about me, I just wanted to sit down for a minute and explain who I am, what I am, and what I want to accomplish on YouTube. So to start out, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm in my 40s. I have all teenagers, which I can't really find anybody else on YouTube that kind of, shows mom life with a whole house full of teenagers. I prefer to call myself a chaos coordinator instead of a stay-at-home mom because there's a lot of chaos in this house, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. So what sets me different from all the other YouTube moms? The main thing is I'm trying to do my best as a mom while living with a traumatic brain injury. September 2015, my husband and I were involved in an ATV accident, which was pretty severe. He was injured as well, but not minor compared to my injuries. I had a host of medical issues following the accident, which then in turn led to a host of mental health issues. Thankfully, today, most of the physical things have resolved. I still have some lingering effects. Mentally and emotionally, it has taken a huge toll on me. In part, not only do I have a traumatic brain injury, I suffer with some pretty severe ADHD, which was diagnosed as an adult. And also, I meet all the criteria for bipolar, but it's more caused from the brain injury. They say my brain injury was a result more of lack of oxygen than actually the hitting of my head. All of my injuries were the top half of my body. My lower body really wasn't injured, other than I do have some little bit of nerve damage. I spent 33 days in the hospital in our local trauma center. Thankfully, I don't remember the first week at all. And those 33 days in the trauma center also resulted in my PTSD. My PTSD is from the hospital stay, not the accident. I spent 6 weeks in a nursing home. I had to relearn how to walk, even though not all the injuries were to the top half of my body. Being in a bed for a month took a toll on me, took a toll on my body. I will say those 6 weeks in the nursing home were pretty darn fantastic. The nursing home in my community, which quite a few family members have been in there, so the staff was familiar with pretty much all of my family anyways, and I had some friends that worked there. Absolutely amazing care. I went in with not being able to transfer from the wheelchair to the bed to being able to walk unassisted in 6 weeks. I did come home with a cane, which I used for a short time, mostly outside of the house, not inside of the house. But that place was pretty darn amazing, and I made some pretty good friends with the nurses and the aides and even some of the residents. So back to what I want to show on YouTube. I know there's quite a few other mamas that struggle with ADHD too. routine is big for me. My kids always thrived on routine when they were little. I'm the one that thrives on the routine now. My days are structured in the way things go, not at certain times, but this is, I do the same things every day when I get up, throughout the day, at night. Basically, that's how I remember what I need to do. Early on in my healing process, I spent a lot of time on YouTube because I couldn't really do anything but sit on the couch once I got home. And that's when I learned about Fly Lady. Fly Lady has helped me a lot. I have taken Fly Lady routines and kind of tweaked them to what works for me, which I think is what you do with anything. You have to find what works for you. I mean, there's tons of different cleaning methods and systems, but what it comes down to is what works for you and what works for your family. So that's what I do, what works for me. It may not always be what other people think is right, but it works for us. I utilize a planner a lot. Some days it looks pretty because I do like to do the whole decorating the planner and planning things out, and I have a lot of planners and I have a lot of notebooks, but it's what keeps me on track and for the most part keeps me from forgetting things. I do have somewhat of memory issues, especially when I get overwhelmed, and I do get overwhelmed pretty easy. And I forget what I'm talking about a lot. So this Holler Mom is actually my second YouTube channel. I've had another YouTube channel for about 3 years, and it's called Holler Life. Basically, it's the chronicles of our family's racing, I guess you could say, endeavors. We are a dirt track racing family. I was raised as a dirt track racing kid, married a dirt track racer. Now, not only does my husband race, but our oldest son does as well. My dad started when I was a baby. He raced for 40 years. Both of his brothers, my uncles, raced throughout the years. My younger brother drove a race car before he drove a street car, and he is still currently racing. My husband's raced on and off for 20 years, and my son is now racing. He's kind of raced on and off. He took last year off, and now this year he's scrambling to get a car ready because the season starts soon. That being said, I always wanted to make the more, what my husband calls the mom videos, the hauls, the cleaning, the meal planning, the cooking, that type of thing. So it's been in my mind. I've tried to incorporate that stuff on the other channel, but it doesn't go over well. They just want to see the race cars and the races. And so I prayed about it a lot. I thought about it a lot. I talked to friends about it a lot. And after finding a couple people here on YouTube, it kind of gave me the push. My big concern was always, my house isn't perfect. My house doesn't look like it's straight from Target or out of a Joanna Gaines book, but watching some of these smaller YouTubers, I've kind of come to embrace where I'm at. Like, this is what I'm at. I'm a real mom, and I'm going to show what it's like to be a real mom who maybe struggles with some things, like a traumatic brain injury. I function normally. It's just, I have memory issues, and I have balance issues, and obviously the emotional stuff and the ADHD. But I'm just over here trying, which life with teenagers is rough to begin with, but when you throw all that into the mix, and some of my kids do have their own mental health struggles and learning struggles, and My kids are, my oldest daughter is almost 20, my son is 18, my daughter is 17, and my youngest guy is 14. This year, after the whole COVID thing, we decided to do homeschool for him, because online learning, we learned last spring, does not work for him. My 17-year-old, she still goes to school in person, because that's what works for her. Like I said, you have to do what works for you. We are very much about, we do what works for each child. Hear a lot of, well, you do this when they're in trouble. Well, and our response is, well, that's how we parent her, and this is how we parent you. We do what works for each kid. Kind of like to say, you gotta hit them where it hurts. Another reason I wanted to do YouTube is, you guys, I need some new friends. I don't have a lot of friends that I spend time with, that I talk to on a daily basis. I do have a couple good friends. I don't know what we should call ourselves. Maybe the @girls, because my name is Colette and one's name is Nanette and the other one is Pam. But when we're all together, we call her Pamette. But we all kind of have like the same, I guess, interests. My friend Nanette, she also has a YouTube channel. Her channel is called The Herbert Zoo. She is the mom of 9, and let me tell you, she's pretty darn amazing. She kills it sometimes with the things she does, and I've learned a lot from her. But I really hope that I can make some new friends via YouTube. I'm pretty active on Instagram. My IG is hollermommy4. And you know, we kind of, everything is based off hollow. We live in a hollow. We live in the house that not only my husband grew up in, his mother grew up in, and we've raised our children here. We've lived here for, I think, 16 years now. And I wouldn't live anywhere else. I absolutely love it here. We're out in the country. A lot of his family lives on a road. A lot of my family, extended family, like my dad's cousins, live on our road. And we love our little life out here in the hollow. We refer to our house as down home, just because the other relatives that lived here, this was always called down home, because this was, you know, the main house, and everyone kind of sprouted out from here. So I really hope you would like to subscribe to my channel. If you hit the little bell down there, it will turn on the notifications when I upload something. If you want to check out our other channel, it's called Holler Life. This season is just starting to pick up, so that's going to be a lot more active over there. But yeah, I'm not a perfect mom. I don't have perfect kids. I don't have a perfect house. I don't have a perfect marriage. But we're trying. So I hope that you would like to subscribe and comment, and I can get to know you down in the comments or over on Instagram.